So, you want to join us playing SCP Secret Laboratory together, but you've never even played the game before. Hell, you're not even sure what an SCP is. Well, don't you worry, you little as I'm here to guide you through everything you need to know as a newcomer to this game. Emphasis on the word newcomer, okay? We ain't gonna be going over any advanced stuff like juking or layouts. That's something you can discover yourself when you're comfortable playing, or hate yourself. But regardless, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to play an insane session of Secret Laboratory. So grab yourself some snacks, grab some orange juice, sit back and relax as I tell you everything you need to know to play SCP Secret Laboratory with us. So, before we even get into how to play SCP Secret Laboratory, we need to have an understanding of what the game even is. Otherwise, your catchphrase throughout the game will be, I don't know what I'm doing. So let's get this sorted for you. SCP Secret Laboratory, or SCPSL, is a free-to-play multiplayer horror game, inspired by the SCP universe. The game centers around the SCP Foundation's mission to protect humanity from the dangerous creatures and entities that threaten it. However, due to a containment breach that has occurred, all dangerous SCPs have escaped their chambers and will kill any and all humans in their way. What a surprise. The humans inside this facility consist of Class D, scientists, and facility guards. Though later on in rounds, more trouble will arrive with the facility's own militia and the anti-Foundation group known as the Chaos Insurgency. We'll be going into more details on each of those roles shortly. SCP Secret Laboratory is set in the facility known as Site-02. Definitely not Site-19, I swear. The facility consists of 4 unique sectors, those being Light Containment, Heavy Containment, Entrance Zone, and Surface Zone. I'll go into more details with these zones in the most likely order you'll see them when you play. With every round comes new experiences, threats, and dangers, as no round will ever be the same, with the map and loot spawns changing each time. Light Containment Zone is likely the first zone you'll find yourself in, and the one with the most memes. Light Containment is the spawn for Class D, Scientists, and SCP-3114. Once you step out your spawn, you will initially be confused on where to go, but fortunately, this zone will tell you what's ahead of you by using an in-game tool called your eyes, which involves looking up at a door and seeing what is written above it. The main ones being Always Curved, Always Straight, Airlock, Freeway Intersection, and Four-Way Intersection. There are also room names you can learn like GR18 and 00, but I'll be telling you the most important one shortly so you can explore yourself later. Class D personnel, or D-boys as we like to call them, spawn in light containment in their cells. The objective of a D-class is a very simple one, of escaping the facility, preferably with both your legs still attached. Spawning in as a D-class, you'll have no items in your inventory, so your best bet of survival is looking around light containment for some medical supplies and a keycard. Once you get a keycard, your best bet is to head to SCP-914. More on that in a second. As a D-class, you'll want to comply with MTF soldiers to ensure you survive, but if you don't feel like sucking up to the system and you have some weapons of your own, you can attempt to take them out. On the other hand, if you see chaos, they'll take care of you and make sure you escape. If you escape cuffed, you'll become MTF. If free, you'll become a Chaos Agent. This also applies to escaping as a scientist, but with the roles reversed. Playing as a scientist is basically everything about the D-class, but again in reverse. Scientists are to cooperate with MTF and avoid chaos. They're teachers' pets, look at them. When spawning as a scientist, you'll be equipped with a scientist keycard and a med kit, so you have a better start than any D-class. Regardless of spawning as a D-class or a scientist, both roles will have to make their way to this side of Entrance Zone in order to escape. Facility guards are the only starting role spawning in Entrance Zone, with their objective being to escort personnel out the facility safely. Their main priority is scientists escaping, but you can help D-class as well. Though, the Foundation will look the other way if there are any incidents. Facility guards will spawn with an SSP-9, medkit, flashbang, walkie-talkie, and balls of Play-Doh, because despite having weapons, they're always cowards.
Oh, hello? Guys, I'm just as scared. I'm just as scared.
Once all personnel have been escorted out, your best bet will be to follow orders from MTF when they arrive. Let's move back into light containment for a moment to talk about keycards in the game. In every round, you'll always want to have a keycard to open doors and gates. unless you enjoy staring at the Grey Walls.
What the fuck?
There's many different cards in the game, but these are the ones you'll more than likely see the most during your time playing. Being in light containment, you'll only ever find either a Scientist or a Zone Manager card. You're going to want to pick one of those up and make your way to SCP-914. SCP-914 is one of the many rooms in light containment you'll want to find every round. It is essentially the upgrade room for all of your items. Those keycards you grabbed, you'll want to put them in 914 on the left here and upgrade them on fine. The lowest level you need to escape the facility is the operative keycard. However, with the keycards, you'll stay in 914 until you get the 05 keycard, which gives you access to everything the facility has to offer. Be careful what setting you put them in on, as you might not get the desired outcome you were hoping for. Sticking with fine is your safest bet. With that all done, and you've escaped the massacre of light containment, because that will happen, it's time you make your way to heavy containment zone. Now, if you've lived long enough, everyone around finds their way to heavy containment one way or another, and this zone is the one where things can go very wrong if you're not careful. This is the zone a majority of SCPs spawn in. Your objective will be to avoid the SCPs while you can and make your way to one of these 2 entrance zone checkpoints. Heavy is typically a lot harder of a zone to navigate through, as there's no signs to tell you where you are. The current version is lit up like a Christmas tree, so you should be fine. Heavy containment contains quite a lot of useful items, but we'll go into those shortly. Before that, it's about time I tell you about the dangers you'll face from the monstrous SCPs themselves. Regardless of what SCP you'll spawn as, your overall objective as an SCP is as simple as killing everyone, as you'll have a target amount on the top right of your screen. D-Class, Scientist, MTF, Chaos, Jojo Siwa, anything human, you kill. It's as straightforward as that. I'll be telling you about each individual SCP, but not all of their abilities, as it's an important part of the game to learn for yourself. Pressing F1 on any and all SCPs will show you information you will be looking for. This rule also applies to every human role as well. SCP-173 is a living statue that can only be moved when being unobserved by humans. Think of it like the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. Your main attack will be snapping players' necks, as well as other interesting abilities like shitting on the floor to slow people down. No, I'm not joking. SCP-173 acts primarily as a tank-class SCP, meant to be the forefront of an assault and soak up damage for its teammates. SCP-173 is also effective in providing some recon and pursuing lone targets. The more eyes on you though, the more trouble you'll find yourself in. SCP-049 is known as the Plague Doctor. He's all about gaslighting himself into thinking everyone has the pestilence and is out to cure everyone. An attack from 049 will lead to a human into having cardiac arrest. SCP-049 acts like a support class SCP, capable of turning dead players into SCP-049-2 instances, which in turn can make the next respawn wave smaller. SCP-049-2 are of the Plague Doctor's making, apparently cured humans, but in reality are zomboids. They are effective as frontline SCPs when in groups, capable of quickly overwhelming targets when there are many. When alone, SCP-049-2 is weak, but can still provide valuable support, such as recon to the SCP team. Oh, and after being made bald against your will, be sure to ask Daddy/Mummy Plague Doctor for milkies to restore your shields. SCP-106 is your average old person. They look terrible, they're leaking black fluid all over the place, and they can sink into the floor.
What the fuck?
SCP-106 is capable of abruptly attacking players, sending them to his pocket dimension. If you find yourself in there, good luck making the right choice to get out. SCP-106 is effective at flanking targets, capable of quickly moving around the map and cutting enemies off. SCP-096 or Shy Guy is unable to attack by default. It's until someone looks at you is when you get enraged and can attack people. You can try to stop crying on a wall, but ain't nothing fixing that face. SCP-096 acts as an assault class SCP, capable of effectively pushing with their team and then tearing apart large groups of targets once provoked. SCP-939 has a unique ability of stealing other players' voices, specifically the last 5 seconds of what their victim said. Oh, and farting. I'm sorry, is there something going on here? She is very effective at ambushing and picking off lone targets. SCP-939 is also capable of misleading players through the use of mimicry, using different sound effects found within the facility. But don't worry, she's not going to mimic the sounds of your dad coming back. SCP-079 is an AI capable of hacking the facility's main doors and power. Basically Clippy with anger issues. SCP-079 acts as a support class SCP, with abilities primarily focused on assisting other SCPs through a variety of methods. The only way you can hurt other players is saying mean things through the microphone. Despite this, a competent SCP-079 player can often be one of the most dangerous SCPs in the game. A thing to note for fighting against 079 is that there is no way to kill it like typical SCPs. What you'll have to do instead is activate 3 generators. Once all 3 generators are activated, SCP-079's room will open and you can shoot his override button, which is located in the sweet kitted armory.
Fantastic!
SCP-3114 is a skeleton capable of disguising as other human classes to make players vulnerable. It's very much an invasive SCP, as it's the only SCP to be able to use keycards and throw away important items to hinder the human players in the round. It's basically Among Us. It's also the only SCP to be fully voice acted, a fact you will never forget with the amount of skeleton puns he'll make. Something you probably noticed throughout both light containment and heavy containment zones are these pedestals, which contains SCP items that can give you an advantage while making your escape. There is a wide range of different items to pick up and play with, such as a deadly bouncy ball, a hat that turns you invisible, a gramophone allowing you to speak to dead players,
I beat my meat into a cup.
a glass of regular original Coke, you go fast because of the cocaine, and many more. Take a good look around and explore all your choices you have available, as you never know what might come in handy in dire situations. An important item to note can only be found in heavy containment is the Micro HID. This is a very powerful electric weapon that has the potential to kill SCPs in a matter of seconds. In the right hands, however. A notable room is down this elevator here, the Warhead. Here you can enable the Alpha Warhead, which can then be activated on Surface Zone. Doing this will, well, as expected, blow up the facility. But you'll have more than enough time to escape it, I'm sure. Entrance Zone is very much the endgame area of rounds at Secret Labs. This is where most fights that eliminate the SCPs take place. The main thing you have to concern yourself with coming into this zone if you're still a D-class or scientist is finding either gate A or B to get up to surface. These gates both require a keycard with a high enough level to open them up. Besides that, you have an intercom room, which is useful for relaying information to others in the facility, and is definitely not used to spam Justin Bieber for all to hear. And we have Checkpoint, which tends to have a few useful items you can find, primarily to be used by facility guards. Once you reach either gate and entrance zone, you will take an elevator up to the final zone, the Surface Zone. Surface Zone is very much the spawn area for both MTF and Chaos, and will most often find yourself not here for long, unless you've activated the Alpha Warhead and blew up the facility. Gate A leads out to this elevator here, near where Chaos drives in, and Gate B comes out here, where MTF comes in from a helicopter. Besides that, the only firefight you'll find yourself in will more than likely happen on this long stretch of road here. An even bigger firefight is the fact that this area hasn't been reworked in over 6 years.
Which?
No.
I mean, come on.
No.
Give it up. For
No.
Now, MTF's role is pretty similar to facility guards, with the added objective of eliminating any remaining threats in the facility. That includes both SCPs and Chaos. When an MTF wave spawns, players will be separated into 3 different ranks, those being cadets, sergeants, and captains. Cadets will be the main spawn, with a few sergeants and only 1 captain. Each rank is meant to follow the orders of the superior rank above them. They rarely do. Each rank spawning with different equipment and card access. Cadets get the Crossvec, sergeants get the Epsilon 11 and grenades, and captains get the FRMGO and also grenades. Past all that, all ranks spawn with a walkie-talkie and a medkit. Keycard wise, both the cadets and the sergeants spawn with the operative keycard, and the captain will spawn with the captain keycard. The difference being that the captain keycard can access the Micro HID and intercom, whereas the operative keycard cannot. Chaos has the objective of eliminating all facility personnel and helping D-Class escape from the site. As well as this, they can grab SCP items and destroy all playable SCPs within the facility. Just like MTF, when a Chaos Wave spawns, players will be separated into 3 different ranks. Those being Marauders, Repressors, and Riflemen. Riflemen will be their main spawn, with a few Marauders and 1 Repressor. Unlike MTF, Chaos has no assigned leader, and all have the same access when it comes to their own keycard. Each rank spawns with different equipment. Riflemen spawn with the AK-47, Marauders get the shotgun and revolver, and Repressors will get the Lodger set. Past that, all ranks will get medkits and pills. Just be careful when you spawn in, as the driver is apparently drunk and will run you over without hesitation. Now, with all those weapons listed and you're back in the facility, you'll notice a bunch of these weapon workbenches scattered around the map. These workbenches are used to customize your guns. There is a whole assortment of different attachments to choose from, so feel free to experiment with what suits your playstyle best. You can even customize your sight's shape and color. I like to make my sights a bright pink, because I'm not just a soldier, I'm a cool soldier. Alright, so now you know everything you need to play SCP Secret Laboratory with us. Great, but no guide goes by without giving you some useful tips here and there, right? So now's the time to get your Hello Kitty notepad and pen. Write this shit down. Or don't, it's not that complicated. If you find yourself in SCP-914 and want to upgrade as quickly as possible, well, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Literally that. Put a scientist card in on 1-to-1, then on flying twice, and you have the 05 key card. Yay! Man, someone should make a video on how easy that is, jeez. Besides fast-ass keycard upgrades, SCP-914 has a whole assortment of recipes you can learn to make better and unique items. In fact, there's 4 exclusive weapons you can make in 914. Those being the particle gun, the COM-45, don't ask, the jailbird, and the A7. So take the risk and see what result you'll get. You'll figure this out, I'm sure, but I've seen others to this day not even realize that hotkeys are a system in this game. But more than that, you can actually customize your own hotkeys in the settings menu. While holding out an item, you can press T to throw that item. Depending on the weight is how far that item goes. So you can, for example, throw your keycard at a gate if you have to make a quick getaway. A good thing to note once you've gotten familiar with playable SCPs is that in the settings menu and preferences, there's options to which SCP you would prefer to spawn as. Say if you really like playing as SCP-096 but think 079 is too hard, you can make 096's preference right up and put 079 to the lowest. When spawning in around as SCP-3114, your best bet on your first disguise here is to use the Scientist, as D-Class spawner will definitely recognize if you were there or not in the cell, whereas Scientists spawn all over in light, so it's your best bet to ensure you're not caught out so soon. If you find yourself in a dire situation where you need to get rid of your old poopy gun for a much better weapon that uses the same ammo, hold R with your current weapon in hand to fully take out the ammo in that magazine, so you can have all the more with your better weapon. One thing to keep note of is to listen out for the different footsteps you can hear throughout the facility, as all of the SCPs have unique sounding footsteps that you can hear and determine which SCP is around the corner. Even Chaos has different sounding footsteps to MTF. And as a bonus, I did a post on YouTube to ask the community what they think a new player should know starting the game for the first time, and here are a few right here. And there we have it. You're no longer a little noob and you know exactly what you need to know, so you won't be staring at the walls all game. Now we can get to the real meat of this game, and that's screaming down the hallways in absolute horror while 949 chases your ass. Thank you for watching my essay. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed writing it. If you want to learn more, don't hesitate to ask questions. Stay safe out there, drink plenty of water, and I will see you in the facility. Goodbye.